Hello, everyone. Welcome to another match of Littlewargame. Today, I'm recording a live game being played on Silent Fjord. This is a kind of a series of games that's been played on the evening of the 21st of October. Um, have a match, a live recording of a match of NorM versus Sid Amanda, I believe. And today I'm bringing you same NorM versus a different player, the blue player here, Sqrtofneg1. So I'll just refer to them as probably NorM and blue player or red player and blue player. So, you know, last game NorM opened up with a 2-den, basically like a 2-den all-in. This game we have something a little bit different. We have kind of just expanding into the just getting a house into a normal barracks opening, which is pretty standard, pretty standard stuff going on there. We have the same thing going on from. This is funny. Okay, so hopefully, I think how I'm gonna post these videos is uh, one video per day. So who knows? Maybe this becomes like a week-long series because it's like maybe afterwards they play another match and it's like, oh, I just want to keep spectating these games. Who knows? Maybe I'll get to play against Norm sometime soon. But he's such a great player. Like I mean, I watched some of his videos of what he was doing in a little war game like a week ago, and basically his mechanics in the game is super solid. He might not be like the most family friendly in a way, but he's like really solid at the game, and I like have such enjoyment watching him just because of like how solid he is. Yeah, so just absolutely fantastic player. Looks like he's going for a standard one Raider into production, RS production. One Raider into Castle Expand. Um, so he'll probably pull. Actually, no, he's getting two Raiders. Oh, this is interesting. When I started playing Little War Game like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, this is actually the exact build he taught me how to play. Getting these two Raiders and avoiding the oh, actually, I should have watched this micro. That's funny. These two raiders couldn't kill each other, so they both agreed to kind of just go back home. It's so important that you don't lose this raider. But like I was trying to say, this is the build I used to play for a while. I like this build. A lot of people have shown me builds that are maybe like more economically friendly, slightly riskier militarily wise, or like unit production wise. But it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. Pretty solid opening so far, I'd say. How did he get his castle so close? Oh no, it's because he put his buildings further away. Yeah, we just have consistent raider production at this point now, from both players. They're just like, if you're gonna get raiders, I'm gonna get raiders. They're both producing raiders. Blue player is producing workers as well. So perhaps Norm forgot about what workers were. We do see two raiders go down, sadly. Sadly. I hope Norm hasn't forgotten that workers are important. So who knows? Maybe his hotkeys are a little messed up, or maybe he's like focused on this Raider micro, which could be very important actually. So yeah, we do see a little bit of harassment going on. We do see that this castle finally does go down. So both of them have basically the same opening going for themselves. Yeah, Norm is definitely focusing on this Raider harassment. Definitely trying to get two Raiders on one Raider if possible. Ooh, Norm could actually kill two Raiders here. Yeah, he's winning this Raider fight. Like, if these Raiders accidentally start attacking each other, Norm is definitely gonna win that exchange. Very curious to see where this transitions. Because both of them are just slowly going for Raiders, which is so funny. It's like they don't want to give up like the early scouting. They don't want to give up the early pressure. Like no one wants to start building archers and admit like they're not in control of the map kind of thing. It's so funny to see. We do see that the red player is starting to go for his expansion actually, which is actually both players are going for their expansions now. So that's pretty solid from both of them. I wonder how they're gonna like respond to potential like Raider scouts of the third base for both of these players. Like if Raiders were here, what do you do, right? And now we just all the Raiders happen to be together. But how do you respond if like Raiders start pressuring this area? You just move your Raiders closer, right? I don't know. It's harder to say. But I do like that both of them are going for this like castle uh, type, and allies don't distract. Yeah. Oof. A good point. It's all right. I'm I am fanboying to XD. I'm fanboying too. So okay. So let's talk about the transition. So we have just consistent worker production. We have consistent production in general. It looks like we're getting another barracks on both sides of the map. In fact, both of these players look like they're doing almost the exact same things, except very slightly different. So we have archers from NorM. We have continuous raiders from the blue player here. Um, because the blue player looks like he likes to expand towards this upper base, which is the lower base on this side. He's moving his raiders to kind of just check this area. Personally, I like to expand up because I feel like I don't know, it feels like it's more protected, like it's more walled, even though this is like not walled. It just feels safer. Like, but I do actually more that I now that I think about it, might not actually be safer. We do have a lot of raider harassment going on, so blue player definitely doing a lot of work. Yeah, actually, definitely. What I'd suggest is definitely we should have a conversation about this map. Where is the better place to get your third expansion? Is it this location or is it up here? Um, the more I think about it, I think I like this location less because you get situations like this where you kind of have to like defend much more heavily on this raider harassment or like any harassment in general. If this was wolf, you would definitely have harassment going on. Whereas if you had this base here, you could just clump your army here basically and protect most avenues into your base, which is really strong. Gets a raider, fantastic micro by both of these players to be honest. Like having this guy basically just did a run by attack with his raider. That was pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy indeed. All right, let's take a look at what's going on. We do have this armory coming up, so that could be really good for uh, archer range, and that could be really good for archer range and for shroud. If you're unfamiliar, uh, raiders have an ability called shroud, and basically it puts a cloud of like fog onto the map, and your uh, your enemy units, the units of your enemy basically have their range reduced like a lot. Like I think archers melee range. Obviously, it doesn't affect it's like the soldier very much because they're already melee range. But it can become very powerful against archer based compositions, which is extremely important. Very important, actually. Um, yeah. Um, Sets it Amanda, one of the spectators, made a really good point about how NorM's archers are pretty spread out, and I think this has a lot to do with how he expanded. Like, this is why I want to have the conversation about where you expand, on on this map specifically, Silent Fjord, because you get like this base has so much avenues for getting attacked, right? Whereas if you had this base, you could basically just focus your units in this location. And like this base is completely safe basically if you have units here. This base is almost completely safe if you have units here. I mean, you gotta like cover this location. But this base has like one, two, technically three if someone moves into there. So it's just really interesting to see how this game is playing out right now. Um, yeah, we do have the worker expand. So looks like he's, the blue player is thinking about getting a base of his own. This is a great time to look at the economy actually, seeing uh, how much economy both players have, and how well they're doing on resources and everything. Yeah. So yeah, this is kind of overwhelming now because the blue player has done such a good job of keeping all of his raiders alive, or at least most, if not all. I mean, he's lost 8 raiders, but he's like doing a good job of keeping enough units alive. And the raiders have regen, so like when they start attacking into this like area, they'll be like fit enough to fight. They'll have a lot of burst damage. They'll be doing a lot of stuff. At the same time, NorM has this run by going on with some archers. He also has some units coming back. You know, basically trying to protect against this. But the blue player also is just basically trying to like be solid here. So NorM's lost 14 workers, but the blue player has lost now he's lost 19 raiders. That's actually such a big deal. Let's take a look at the resources lost here. Um, yeah, blue player, because of that fight, just lost more resources than his opponent has so far, and their economy is relatively the same. Like if we look at units, I mean it's 30 workers to NorM's 40 workers essentially. So NorM, I mean blues 40 workers, but it's 3 bases. I mean now it's 4, but basically I'm trying to make the point that it might not be as solid for the blue player as it was a moment ago. Now here we have the shroud ability. It basically reduces the ability of the archers to fire. I mean, as you can see, like archers like this are still able to micro into these fights. Like they still have some range, but they are very reduced, very reduced range. We have a little bit of harassment going on, so basically able to scout that there's no fourth base. Yeah, yeah. This is exactly what I was thinking as well. Good point. Um, Sisad Amanda basically just stated out that these shrouds aren't actually having much effect against what's going on, and as a result, these archers are basically getting their full effectiveness. Um, Looks like NorM built a bird at one point. I didn't notice that. I wish I would have noticed that actually. This is such a big deal that NorM gets birds. Birds are very powerful around like the 5 minute mark when your opponent doesn't have like that's like, oh, actually there's a bird up here. There's a bird up here. You can barely see it, but you can see the shadow of a bird. Oh, I wonder whose bird this is actually. Let's take a look at units. Yeah, this is NorM's bird. I wonder, can you select this bird once it's gotten up here? I don't know if you can, but it's a great place to have a bird, right? Actually, not that great, because you can't really see what's going on. I really hope he can still select this bird. If not, like, he just lost a bird, is essentially what just happened. So, because if you could, like, take this bird and move it down here and see exactly, like, oh, my opponent is going for upgrades now. Like, that would be so strong. Such, like, powerful information. This fight is good so far. He's doing a good job of kind of, like, retreating. Ooh, this shroud might actually be good. Uh, Good splits. Good, like, concave, basically. You know, trying to make a concave. Good shrouds, basically making it so that these archers in the back can't really do anything. Um, Oh, and then GG well played, called by the blue player. I'm gonna go ahead and say GG well played. A lot of pressure being put at the end of that game. I thought it was good pressure, solid pressure all around by both players. Oh, Norm floating around 600 gold, that could be improved, but I thought it was really good stuff going on. We can see he eventually got a fourth base and even more barracks at that point. Good game, well played by both players. I'll see you in the next match.